First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. And shout out to Yakim that's out there on the four corners of the earth proclaiming this truth. Ba'Shem Rakal Kadash. And so here we are, another article here I pulled up. No collusion. Redacted U.S. House report on Russia released officially clears Trump document. So, all this bullshit, which is just smoke and mirrors about the so-called Russian collusion with the Donald Trump campaign, which we know that the Illuminati, the Israeli state, if you will, Amalek wanted him in there, so there was no collusion and all that. This is just a bunch of crap, just like the red and the blue, the Democrats versus Republicans. We're past all that horse shit anyways, because we're not even Americans. We're Israelites, New era. No more war. Two Koreans agree on complete denuclearization. Well, like everything else, though, you know as well as I do that all these countries are going to come against the whore Babylon the Great. A new era of peace beginning, according to a declaration signed by the leaders of North and South Korea after first meeting in over a decade. Both nations are aiming to completely denuclearize the Korean peninsula. We know that this is never going to happen because, of course, the United States is never going to stop putting their nose into shit that doesn't belong there. They have no business over there, but, the United States always puts its fucking, terrorists. They're terrorizing all the countries, All right, here's more. Give it a second to load. Shalom. Four dead, 833 injured as Israeli Defense Forces clash with Great Return protesters. Palestinian Health Ministry. And again, the most of these people ever have is rockets, but that doesn't stop Amalek from using their military might, which their strong arm has always been the United States. Protesters have gathered along the Gaza border as Great March of Return demonstrations enter their fifth week. At least 42 Palestinians, including 2 journalists, have been killed, and thousands injured since the protests began. Okay, there's more. Pulled up this article. As you can see, a lot's happened over the weekend. UN envoy to Syria pressed to criticize Astana peace talks, Lavrov. Russia, Iran, Turkey will resist any attempts to divide Syria and undermine a peaceful solution to the crisis, Sergei Lavrov said, while casting doubt on the reasons behind the recent UN criticism of the Astana process. UN Special Envoy to Syria, Stefan de Mistura, is likely to receive pressure from other parties who try to make him criticize the Moscow spearheaded peace efforts in Syria, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said. So again, they already have a solution to the problem. Get rid of the terrorists and get rid of the United States from being in there, but the United States is never going to leave Syria because of the strong arm of Amalek. Okay, so getting into the main part that's happening over there. Explosions heard in Hama and Aleppo, Syria, due to possible airstrike. And, well, you've already seen my follow-ups to these, that it was an Israeli attack. That's officially out. So here's another article. Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman said that the Palestinians should either accept peace propaganda or shut up, Israeli media reported. Well, you know that Saudi Arabia is just another province of the Israeli state. You may as well just call it another state. Okay, and this is from Syrian Girl. Syria's under attack. It doesn't matter if once a day or once a month. Wake up, people. The United States and Israeli state are on the side of Al-Qaeda and ISIS. Clearly, no one can stop them but you, the people. Well, we know that what's going to eventually take place anyways. When Damascus becomes a ruinous heap, sadly. Sadly for them, that is. Because, of course, it's the Most High that stirred them in the hearts to do this. Now this thing's really fucking struggling, so, give me a minute here. Fucking piece of shit. Goddamn Esau. Oh yeah, Alex Jones is still pretty much gonna lead he definitely speaks against gun control and everything, but as if you have a say so in this piece of shit America, I stopped believing in America a long time ago. Alright, this thing's just gonna keep on struggling. Why don't I just God damn. Alright, hold on a second. Alright, Shalom, this is what I really wanted to get to. Suspected Israeli missile attack wipes out small town in Aleppo. And here's some photos. So, they pretty much wiped out a town because, of course, Israeli state just shoots whenever. A suspected Israeli missile strike against the Syrian government forces and their allies destroyed much of a small town in the Aleppo governorate last night. According to local reports, a suspected Israeli missile struck Amalek in the Aleppo countryside, destroying several buildings inside this town located near the Nahad military airport. As shown in one of the photos below, the remnant of a missile that appears to be a glide bomb struck a building in Amalek, indicating that it may have been dropped from a warplane. A source in Damascus told Al-Masdar News that this morning that it was the Israeli Air Force that carried out this attack. The latter would have most likely used their F-35 jet, as the Syrian air defense cannot detect them. So yeah, F-35. So here's another picture of that. So they actually wiped out an entire town. This is getting a lot more, heated up. And that's, why we have to stay on the watch of these things. Because, of course, they're not going to tell you this in the mainstream. They won't even show you the footage of this. Because we know that the Israeli state really runs the media. See, look at that. This is English, of course, so you know that it's Israeli state. Those are American fucking missiles. So that's a follow-up to everything. This thing's escalating. Try to get some scriptures here. Shalom. And so I'm just going to read out of Joel chapter 3, verse 9. Proclaim this among the nations. Prepare for war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. And that's what's happening now, Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. And that's what's happening. All these, so-called third world countries, these weak countries are standing up to the whore, Babylon the Great. America, to where, the American U.S.-led coalition against Syria really didn't do anything. So now Amalek, the least of their flock, is drawing them out as they are attacking Syria on their own without united socialist states behind them. Assemble and come, all you nations, and gather together all around, because you're mighty ones to go down, O Yahweh. Let the nations be wakened, and come up to the valley of Yehoshaphat, which is right there in Syria, which is the valley of Yahweh's judgment. For there I will sit to judge all the surrounding nations, which includes Syria, Iraq, Turkey, all them places. Of course, Israeli state, Amalek. Put in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come down, for the wine press is full, the vats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes in the valley of decision. For the day of Yahweh is near, in the valley of decision. The sun and the moon will grow dark, and the stars will diminish their brightness. The Lord will roar from Zion, which we are Zion, we the elect of Israel, and utter his voice from Jerusalem. We're that new Jerusalem that will eventually be come down with Yahweh Shai to judge this place. Heavens and earth will shake, but the Lord will be a shelter for his people and the strength of the children of Israel. So again, you know that what's happening here is that this is a Walls of Jericho effect. First, the nations fight each other. Our enemies are fighting each other. So, and it's the Most High that's doing this in the valley right there. He's judging the nations, and he's getting the best of them. Amalek, the Israeli state, is the main of all the wicked people, because they have stolen our identity and portrayed themselves as the Jews. So they are going to be the main ones judged, and they're the ones that are drawing Esau out. The so-called white man just can't stop, supporting Israeli state, because it's indoctrinated into their stretch Christianity that you got to support Israeli state, support them Jews, which they're fake Jews. They're not the real ones. They don't even match the biblical description at all, and also keep this in mind, though, that look at the colors of the people that are out there, darker skin, you look at Syrians, you look at Lebanese, you look at, and that's really just Ishmael and Syrians, but you look at their darker skin. Well, what people would be there, that would match what they look like: blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. But you see, we were pretty much driven out of the land. The northern kingdom fled during the Assyrian Empire, and the southern kingdom was eventually taken out as well, which is why we fled into the mountains of the Sahara deserts, when Jerusalem was captured in 70 A.D. So you can see, that the Most High is waking up his prophets, and we're proclaiming this, and we're seeing this unfold. This being the year of prophecy, we're going to see a lot more. So I hope this has been edifying, and shalom.